Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Play the Tape. I am your host, Derek J. Fields. Full disclaimer, we're not licensed or certified drug and alcohol counselors, clinical therapists, or anything like that. What Play the Tape is a platform of community advocacy and support for those with mental health and substance use and recovery. And it's a place where we come to share our experience, strength, and hope, our testimonies, our stories, to build a commonality, a humanality of our bond that we have as people, what we go through, our ups and downs, our trials and tribulations. Today, my guest is my brother. And I say that, I say that about all my guests, but they are my brothers and my sisters in this regard of life, humor, love, pain, success, joy, trials and tribulations. We all have those commonalities as people. That's what unites us. But my brother today, um, my guest today is I met him at a cozy comedy club in Virginia called Kazi's one night, and him and my sister that was up here in season one, Tavania. So we all meshed very, very, very well. If you didn't know, I did 8 years of stand up comedy. I was touring. I was in all up and down Texas, all up and down the southeast and the coast and the Gulf Coast before my addiction really took over, and my mental health suffered. So did my comedy, and I had to excuse myself from something that I love to do. But God brought me here to do this, and I got to be grateful for that. So my guest today is David. Is it Catash? Catash?
There you go. Like succotash, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I was messing with you. I already knew I was gonna do that when I introed the show. I said I'm gonna mess with her. Catash. I know we talked about it off air, but I was like, is it? Because look, if you look at it, you could be like, it could be cat ash, like cat ash, not
like,
cat ass, but cat
like
ash.
like a
Excuse my
cat smoking a
excuse.
cigarette. I get it. like some people say catfish, and I said you need to learn how to read. Yeah, there's no F in there. Ash.
Ash, right? There's Ash. Yes, Catash, my brother, Catash. Listen, welcome. Listen, I love you, man. Thank you for being up here, um, doing the show today, giving people your experience, strength, and hope, giving people how your faith, your comedy, your humor has helped you overcome and continue to overcome any mental instability that you've had, because we all face depression, sadness, grief, loss, anger, pissed offness, pistivity, the highest level of pistivity, like all of those lifing things that come on us that make life heavy. I'm glad you're here to share how you overcome or overcoming those different obstacles. So without further ado, my brother, Catash.
Yeah, man, yeah. Like with the once people call me succotash, I say that is an activity I tell my wife to do. You know what I'm saying? That's something she like doing for me, sucking Catash. Yeah, man. But whew, man, just I'm 45 years old. 45 years old means I'm two colonoscopies old. You know what I'm saying? And my great grandfather, he died of colon cancer. So I get that checked out, man. But
Right.
I mean, where you want me to start at? From the beginning?
You can start anywhere you want, and you're not censored. You can express, be as vulnerable, be as authentic as you need to be.
I mean, I could
So
cuss.
you
Oh,
can.
I ain't at church today. Let me stop. I'm good, man. Yeah, man. Well, I'll tell you from the beginning, man. I'll tell you how I was conceived, man. It's probably the heaviest thing I'm gonna say this whole time, man. I was conceived through rape. You know what I'm saying? I was conceived through rape. My father he was a rapist, and growing up with that, I was in the church. I got saved when I was 11 years old, uh, and going back when I was around 6, my father, he was trying to see if he could hook back up with my mom. I mean, hook up with her really, because she was a nurse. She was a nurse. Okay, she was a nurse for my grandmother. This is before I was born, and my father saw that he wanted to have sex with this person that was 24 when he was my age, like 45. Okay. My father is 3 years younger than my grandmother was. He was born in 1933. She was born in 1930. So I mean, that just tells you a whole lot right there. And she went to get some things done for my grandmother. When she went upstairs, he seen it and he ripped the clothes. And I'm not gonna tell the whole story because that Jake made me cry. It made me cry when Mama told me the story about in 1999, which is gonna bring me up to something. I knew about what had happened, how it was conceived, but Mom telling me the entire story. Whew, in 1999, I was done, man. It was.
What age in 1999 did you hear this?
I said 1999. I meant 2019.
2019. How old were you at 2019 when you heard this?
I'm 45 now, so probably like 40, 41.
40.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever. I can't do math right. Was it 2023 minus 4?
That's
Yeah,
about right. That's
about
about
40.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And she told me this story, man, during her time here at Christmas, man. I just was balling, bro. But one thing she did say, she said, but his brother, when I went upstairs, I came down and all my clothes was ripped up. He knew that your father had raped me, and he went to beat his ass. I just, the big plain so we got a knife. He's about to kill him. I know what you did to her, because you did it to one of our family members. You know what I'm saying? My mom, she went and told my grandmother that my father's mother that she was going to be leaving soon, not going to be able to do this home nursing job anymore, but she would give her a little bit of time. And she said what happened, and she was embarrassed. My grandmother went to the same church as my mom, and they were a prestigious family. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
say the family name, but they were a prestigious family, and they had a good name and all that kind of stuff. But my father was messing up the name because he was always doing this since the age of 15. He had got a sponge from his record from 15, did something like that when he's 25, and several other times is what I hear. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I mean, long story short, when grandmother knew that my mom was living, and she said he did this to another family member. In 2019, after my uncle's funeral, uh, I met several siblings, half
Mm-hmm.
siblings that I had never met before in my life. I mean, I got a whole family out there. I got like hundreds of people. It felt like I meet like a new sister every 2 weeks, man. Because I mean, this guy was out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I married a white woman, because I didn't want to have no son cousins. You never know who you might be related to. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying. But yeah, but man, they're great people. I was afraid to tell them my story, but I told them my story, and they knew. They said that's how he was, and yeah, man. So that's how it was conceived, and
When you growing up, was your dad there, or was he absent, or was he there, or was there ever like was there tension anytime that you would bring up your dad to your mom? You could tell that she was avoiding, or she would distract or deflect, or was he there? Was he in the picture?
the ironic thing is that he went to the same church, like I said, and
Mm-hmm.
he went there. He was always drunk off of alcohol, always drunk. You know what I'm saying? I heard he really liked scotch and all that kind of stuff. And he was always he would be drunk. I would see him at church. That's the only time I really see him. And when I go up to him, my mom, she would always like, your daddy said go see him. You know what I'm saying? Go see him. She never got him locked up or anything like that. My dad was in a Jet magazine, man, because he was a real estate agent. He was a millionaire at one point. Died broke. Nigga died broke, but it was a millionaire. It was in Jet magazine, all that kind of stuff. But she would just say, go see your father, you know what I'm saying? And I would like, at church and, saying, so I was like, hey, dad, how you doing? And I was like, hey, it's my birthday, near my birthday. He was like, oh, yeah, it's a birthday. Write me a little check, man, for $5. And then when mom would go to the bank, the check would bounce. I'm saying, okay, my only memories of him is that and at church. He came to the house a couple of times, and when he came to the house a couple of times, it wasn't for me. It was really to see if he could get forgiveness from my mom and see if he can make this something. But he was already married. So you know what I'm saying, and I remember him being the person that taught me how to make a paper airplane. What my memories of my father is a paper airplane and a $5 check. That's
right.
That bounce. That's all. That's my really biggest memory, and it's crazy laugh. But yeah, man. Yes. I mean, so yes and no.
Okay.
When I was 17, though, I wasn't living at home with my mom and everything. So I was living with my girlfriend's grandma. That's another story. Kind of ran away from home, and and then those in-house sex was kind of cool. But my mom called me and she said, DJ. That's what my mom called me. She said, DJ.
I'm sorry. I get that too from my aunties on my dad's side. They were from New Jersey. What up, DJ? And I'm like,
yeah. Are you a DJ too?
Yeah, I'm a DJ. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your story. I just got triggered real quick.
If I ever decide to be a disc jockey, I'm gonna be DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I did not like it growing up. Do not call me DJ. Do not.
I never had a
I
problem.
didn't.
Yeah. I didn't like David. My first name is David. For some reason, I didn't like David. I was like, it's a white boy name. Everybody in my school named David is white, and I'm the only black David. So I was like, David. And then when I started knowing about David in the Bible, I was like,
yeah, David, exactly, right. So,
yeah,
but no, you
God.
was getting to before I cut you off. My bad on that. It's a DJ thing. You had said that at 17 you had ran away from home at a time. Would you want to explain why at 17 did you run away?
Oh, I'll tell you that in a second. I just what I want to talk about when I called my father. When my mom called me and she said, your father is in the hospital and he's going blind from diabetes. And she says, you were there for me where, my biological father, we went to his funeral and you said, I paid my respects and you're a good man of God and you should call your father and, tell him you're thinking about him and you're praying for him. And I said, oh, yeah, I'll do that, Mom. You know what I'm saying? That's the way my mom raised me. So I called my father up and at the hospital. And I said, hey, Dad. He said, hey, who's this? I was like, this is David. And he was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, my mom told me that you went blind and, and everything. And, you suffer from diabetes. I just want to let you know, I know we ain't really had no real relationship, but I want to come and see you. I love you, you know what I'm saying, regardless of anything in the past. And I want to pray with you. And he said, who is this again? And I said, David, your son. He said, you ain't my son. Your mama lied to you. And he hung up on me, man. And that just hurt so bad, man. And
when was this? When did this happen?
When I was 17 years old. I was 17.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so it just, for like you was asking about why did I leave home? Like it was I left home because my parents was really strict. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by, both my parents, my mom and my grandmama. You know what I'm saying? And my granddaddy, not daddy, of course. And the thing about uh, I got to the point where they thought that I was doing drugs. Only drug I was doing was my girlfriend. That was, that was my drug of choice. Females, you know what I'm saying? But
I do.
yeah. So I wasn't doing I wasn't having sex with anybody. I mean, I wasn't doing any drugs with anybody. I was having sex with somebody. And I couldn't stop. You know what I'm saying? That was what was going on. Like, they was worried about me with, and shoot, I even walked out in the middle of the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and almost got killed. That's a whole nother story I'll tell you about. Almost got killed for some booty. I'm telling you, that's how addicted I was to that. But no, so and then so with everything going on with that, and what I'm saying, my grandma, she was mad at me about something, and grandma was the pillar of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
she's the pillar of the family, and grandma went and talked to me for like 2 weeks, and there's a whole lot of other type of torture. You know what I'm saying? I go to grandma, we watch basketball, NBA, the Chicago Bulls,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what I'm saying, and WW, well, not WCW, forget WWE. Anyway, because they got real cartoonish. But yeah, we used to watch that stuff together, and then so when I go to her, hey, grandma, the Bulls are playing. She said, she wouldn't say nothing. I'm not talking to you, and she wouldn't talk to me for 2 weeks. So I ran away from home because, you know what I'm saying, I ran away from home and I stayed over at my friend's house for a day, and then when I got told you got to go back to your parents' house the next day, and when I talked to my grandma, I went home, and she was mad at me, so she didn't talk to me. So it just felt, I ended up making, telling a story about, what was going on at home, and stayed at my girlfriend's grandma's house for like a year or something like that, you know what I'm saying? And I hope she don't see this interview, but I was tearing that thing up.
It's too late for that.
She would find condoms in the house, and then she was like, David, what is these condoms? And I was like, oh yeah, I thought it was water balloons. I'm just filling them up with water, you know what I'm saying? Like, just as a gag, you know what I'm saying? She was like, she found condoms on
you
the couch.
you funny at 17. You know you ain't filling up no condoms or no has no water balloon.
Like, it was a water balloon, you know what I'm saying? So I was making stuff up. I was like, oh my God, she was finding the, I was like, dang, I thought I threw that away. But yeah, she was finding the condom wrappers in the trash can. Kids stupid. Like,
Yeah.
he's throwing it all the way outside. Like, come on, kids stupid, man.
You could at least filled a couple of them up and popped them and left them outside like they burst.
I could have did that too.
I mean, listen, we talking at 38, 45, like we took that's
Yeah, right,
17, right.
yeah.
Right. We ain't got that kind of knowledge at that time.
I
That's
was, man,
funny.
shoot, when I was young, I was so stupid, man. I would break like a cup or something,
Yeah.
and in pieces, and I would just put it back together and put it back in
Oh,
the
you did,
stove.
dude, you did it too? Okay, so my
Yeah.
mom had these unicorns and they were ceramic, and I would play with them. We like, and I chipped one of the legs, came off, and because it had a leg, it was in the front. So I was like, ooh, I know my dad keep Loctite because Loctite is a type of glue. It's like super, super, super
Oh,
glue. Yeah.
uh-huh.
So I Loctited it back together, and then I put it back. I let it seal, and I put it back on the shelf. And this before she came home from work. But I was like, oh man, I hope she don't. Oh, I hope she see it. She see it. Oh, okay. Oh, damn.
Bro, at least you a little smarter than me, bro. Cause
I still got that belt. I still got that whooping.
nah, you were
But
smarter than me because I didn't use glue or nothing. I just put it back in there broke, but I just put it in place, and I'll be hoping that they think they broke it by just picking it up.
when it picking it up,
That's how stupid I was, man. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, mine didn't work either. I just thought I was smart, but
Uh,
I was not. I
you
was not. I still got that whooping.
oh man.
Oh man. But so how, when your dad told you that in the hospital, you on the phone calling him like, "Hey, dad, it's David. You know, mom told me what's going on with you in the hospital, your condition. I want to pray for you." Like, who is this? It's your son, David. And he told you that you're not my son and your mom lied to you. How did that make you feel? And is that something that you had to suppress? Did you ever talk to your mom or your grandma or your granddad about it, or anyone?
It was kind of embarrassing at the time, and I didn't talk to them at the time, but yeah, it killed me. Oh my god! Even when I think about how it made me feel now, it killed me because I'm like, I'm reaching out to this dude that don't deserve to be reached out to. I mean, you raped my mama. You know what I'm saying? It's something my mama had to deal with the rest of her life. She still deals with it to this day. And but she was a kind enough woman to tell me to give you a call to let me know what's going on with you. You ain't never reach out to me. Like, I really hadn't, he never been to the house. Since I was 6. One of the reasons I hate cantaloupe so much because he brought a cantaloupe when he came. I hate cantaloupes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, I would never elope because I can't elope. I hate cantaloupes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. That hurt me, and I told my mom about it later in life and whatnot. But bro, that was so
yeah,
painful. And then
yeah.
and get this 2 years later is when he died. So by that time, I was in the military. I was in Fort Eustis, Virginia.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, you ain't gotta say that. I ain't do nothing. But yeah, I appreciate that though.
Yeah.
Everybody say thanks for your service, man. I used to do taxes in the military. I ain't do nothing. But yeah, that day of his funeral, December 19th, 2000 and 2000. I think it was 2000. Yeah, 2000. Oh, it's 2001, 2000. It doesn't really matter. But that was the day of his funeral. That was also the day of the Christmas party. I had a choice to go into a Christmas party on my father's funeral. So you know what I went to. I went to the Christmas party, because this nigga
Yeah.
said I was his kid,
Right.
and I had unforgiving heart for him. So I remember telling people, I didn't want to miss that Christmas party, and telling people, how you doing today? Oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And it just not looking for sympathy. I just happened to come across conversation. Oh, my father died today, and they were like, oh my god, oh, I'm like, oh no, I don't care. I did not care. Now, take you to 2003.
Mm-hmm.
After I got married, my wife did some real despicable things to me, and I was really angry with her. Like, I was going to divorce her, um, and I was holding unforgiveness for my father as well. And I remember getting this message. The pastor was preaching that day. He was preaching a message about forgiveness. And he said, if you hold unforgiveness for somebody, how can God forgive you? The Bible says, forgive us our trespasses if we forgive those who trespass against us. Or, if you read the other, the NIV, it might say, forgive us our debtors as we forgive forgive us what debt, something like that. But at the end of the day, how am I being forgiven for my trials and tribulations and transgressions that I failed when I can't forgive that situation? And although he was in the grave and he said I wasn't his son, I forgave him. And I forgave, my now ex-wife, as well. But leading back into that, later in life, when in 2019, I'm jumping up a little bit, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
keeping it in 2019, when my mom told me that story, and then I learned that there was a brother that came in her defense. She was confused about the name, but she told me he came in her defense, and I was like, man, I haven't seen that uncle in over 20 years. And I'm gonna go find him. I stayed in touch with my aunt Bernice. Oh my God, she passed away. She was 99 last year, I believe. It was last year or the year before. It just seemed like it's pretty fresh. It was during the pandemic stuff. After she got the vaccination, it was like a month later she died. You know what I'm saying? But my aunt Bernice, and my grandma who passed away back in like '89. They stayed.
Rocks. Yeah.
They stayed tight. I mean, even my mom like stayed tight with them. They love man. She's not just my aunt. She would have been like an aunt even if she wasn't my aunt. Is like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like she the Sunday school teacher for everybody. She was the woman that went to Haiti for 20 to 30 years every year for missions. And she actually asked me to go on a mission with her, but you know, I never was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Aunt Bernice, I love Aunt Bernice. So yeah, but I don't want to say Uncle Winston. Okay, Uncle Winston. He had passed. Oh, take it away. I went to see Uncle Winston, and Uncle Winston had recently at the time gotten a car accident in 2019. So I got in touch with his daughter, who I didn't know any of the family. I just knew the uncles and the aunts that died. And I went up to him and I was like, Uncle Winston, I don't know if you remember me, but I ain't seen you in like I ain't seen you in like 20 something years, 27 years. I was like 17 last time I seen you. And he said, hey, he grabbed my hand. He was 94 years old. He grabbed my hand. He's laying in the hospital bed. And I said, yeah, Uncle, I didn't know if he remembered me or not. And so I was just like, maybe trying to jog his memory, da da da. And I was like, yeah. He said, how's everything going? I said, I'm okay. And I said, yeah, I'm your son. I mean, your brother, such and such, son. And he said, your daddy did you wrong. And I just,
yeah,
I cried. And he just rubbed my hand, and he was like, he asked me about how my mom was doing. He said he always wondered about me and stuff, like what was going on in my life. And then he named the street that I lived on. He was in his great senses. He talked about the company that him and my father had together, and about how my father had done a lot of wrong things. He kept covering it up for him his entire life. And then he was, after that, he was like, you gonna come and visit me again? I want to see you again. I was like, yeah, I am. I left, and I was there for probably like an hour, and it was like one of the most powerful family meetings I ever had on that side of the family.
Right.
So his daughter, she hit me up and said, are you coming back over there to see him? I was like, yeah, definitely, And she said, yeah, he like graham crackers. Can you bring graham crackers over there? Because I can't make it over there. But the day I was supposed to go over there, I didn't get an opportunity. I didn't get to go over there that particular Sunday. And then on Monday, I got a call that he was gone. So, but I felt like, it definitely was, okay, sorry. It was,
okay.
It was ordained. It was ordained for me to get that last talk with him.
Yeah.
About my father, because I never really had that conversation with anybody. Even Aunt Bernice would she would say, your dad, and then da da da. And I said, do I have any brothers and sisters out there? And she's like, yeah, but they're hard to get in touch with. She kind of like was on that thing like that. And but after Uncle Winston died, she got with Uncle Winston's daughter, my cousin Anita, and said it's time to let David know about his siblings. And so I'm at the funeral, and I seen some people, and somebody, Anita's brought me up to somebody. She said, I'm not gonna talk about this until later, but this is David. And the first female, she looks at me, she's like, "You're David? You're David?" And then she starts hugging me. She's like, "Oh my God, David." And then she brings me over to somebody who looks just like her, like a twin, but they're not even close in age. These people, by the way, these people are like in their 60s. They're my mom's age. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna tell you about
Hmm.
that in a second. And she hugs me, Cece, she hugs me and she says, "You're David. We've been looking for you. Oh my God. Is it, what's your last name?" And I told him what my last name was. It wasn't my father's last name. And I said, it's a lot behind that. And I said, I don't know if I want to talk about it. And she said,
Hmm.
"Oh, I'm so glad to meet you. You're my little brother." And then there was like there was a raven. "Oh, this is your." They was introducing me to so many different people. "This is your uncle. This is," and so and then I seen this one man that I walked over to that they were like, Ron, I want you to meet David. And he was like, "Oh, hi David, all right, nice to meet you." All right. And that was it. And they came and they said, is Ron doesn't know about you, but he's gonna understand. He said, "We got one other sister that might be questionable about who you are and stuff like that." So, and I said, "Okay." And so after the funeral, we have the reception. What do you call
Hmm.
it? The overpass.
Overpass, yeah.
Yeah,
Repass.
so many, yeah, repass. Yeah, they overpass, whatever. So we had the repass, and then my one of my cousins was like, "Okay, so we have all the families here, and we want everyone to stand up and introduce who their mother and father is." And I said, "Oh my God, like this woman's not a real good woman, by the way. So I won't mention her name on there, but she's I've known her my entire life. She was not a good woman, right? She
Yeah.
has like some evil stuff about her, and what she was trying to do was embarrass me because I was the person that was new to the family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Right. Trying to be messy with the whole situation at that time.
she was being
Yeah.
messy.
Hmm.
So I'm sitting on this side of the room at the table with all of my father's kids and nieces and nephews and all that at this table, and they're all meeting me for the first time. But everybody knows exactly where it was. And then all the way over there is another table with families that they've been together. It's like probably like maybe like 7 tables of families. And she said, "We're gonna start over there." So she started over there. So what it would have been, we would have been the last family. But after the first family did that, then my cousin, the one I told you has an evil streak, she gonna say, "Well, I want to hear about this table's family. I want to hear about this one." So she was talking about my table, and so I was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna say?" You know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm the rape baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so anyway,
Would the at that time was you say you got saved at 11, so you knew about God, you knew about the teachings of Christ. At that time, were you like, Lord, help me, give me something to say, speak for me? Was that ever something that you tapped into, that power, that energy at that moment, to be like, I don't know what's going on, I know this is malicious, I know she's trying to be messy, God, give me something to say, because I don't know what to say. I'm the rape baby. I'm the one that people are looking at right now. What do I do? Was there ever something that came over you that you thought about at that time?
it did, and God answered the prayer in a miraculous way. I
Like
feel.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. What ended up happening is so around the table, on the other side of the table was one of my sisters, um, uh, and her kids. So she got up and she said her name, Gloria. She's just a sweet person. She said, "My name is Gloria. This is my son and daughter." She did that, and then my sister Cecilia. She stood up. Notice these old people names. Gloria, Cecilia,
Yeah.
and then
Look.
Cecilia always said that. Well, yeah, old people names. You know what I'm saying? But and then Cecilia stood up. She introduced brought her kids, her husband, and then she said, "And this is my brother David that we've been looking for for, for like 20 something years."
Oh, wow.
And everybody just stood up and clapped, man. And I didn't have to go through that embarrassment.
Man.
That was all God, man. That was I
Yes,
had
it
no
was. Yes, it
that was
was.
she stood up and said that, man. That was a relief to my heart. Everybody started standing up and clapping for me. It was freaking amazing, bro. And man, ever since then, family members like, I do my stand-up comedy. They come out to shows. They know the story. And when we sat down, they were like, "What?" The sister there was, they were concerned about Sherry. May she rest in peace. I love her. The one they were concerned about that wouldn't like accept me or believe it or something like that. She used to be a police officer. She said, so he said, "Well, David, let me ask you, where you come from? And her mom, her 80-year-old mom, who is still alive, by the way, her 80-year-old mom, she says, "I know all about David. I know his mama. I know everything. Your daddy was out, dad was doing a whole lot out there." And she said, "Yeah, I know about you." She said, "How your mama doing? She's a good woman. Tell her I love her. Like, this is the woman that knew about my father raping my mom to get me conceived. So she knew about me. She knew of me, and she knew of my mom." And she said, "Your mom is a strong woman. Your mom is a real strong woman." And Sherry is like, and Sherry, me and Sherry got like this, and she died last year. I spoke at her funeral and everything, and we got really tight. But she started going through dementia and whatnot at the end, and she started calling me. She called me her nephew. She started calling me her nephew. Like, I am not your nephew. I'm your brother. I know I probably should be your nephew because you're
But
6'7".
I am your brother.
I am your brother. And she started laughing.
Don't
And then
don't write happy birthday nephew on the call.
and the other thing is that she what she didn't forget was that my name was David, but she would forget the relationship. And she would call my niece, her daughter, which is around my age, and she would my niece would call and say, your sister over here calling asking for you. She talking about, where's that nice man David? I love David. He's such a nice man. That's like, I was like, I'm your brother. I'm not just some man.
I am your brother.
No, I'm gonna tell you a miracle that happened with her too, real quick. Yeah, because that story is good. I'm sorry.
No, you good. This is good.
Sherry. So Sherry had went in a coma. She went into a coma, bro, and they thought she wasn't gonna make it after COVID and all this kind of stuff, right? Because by the way, she got hit by a drunk driver in the 90s. Ain't been the same since. So she basically been suffering since the 90s, barely could walk, you know what I'm saying, breathing oxygen and all that kind of stuff. Drunk driver left her for dead. Like, she basically should have died back in the 90s. But she lived on until last year. And so Sherry, her health was always bad since then. So she went into a coma for we call it murder view here in Portsmouth, you know what I'm saying? It's married view, but we call it murder view because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of niggas go in there with a scratch, come out dead, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's one of them drinks. But yeah, so Sherry, they gave her some medicine that made her go into a like it almost killed her. So they ended up getting her to another hospital. They were trying to get her back, and she was going into all these convulsions and stuff like that. But she was in a coma. And so my niece called me, and she was like, "David, she said, I got bad news. Your sister went into a coma." I said, "What?" I thought she was gonna be all right. She said, "Yeah, they saying they don't know if she's gonna make it and that like that." And I said, "I rebuke that in the name of Jesus." And I said, "Man, I read in the Bible that laughter is a part of healing, and I'm just gonna go over there and tell her jokes, and maybe she can still hear me. She's like, yes, you should be
Mm-hmm.
able to hear you. So
Mm-hmm.
I went over there, and I said, I start loving her. I said, I love you, and I was doing all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, look, I'm gonna tell some jokes, and I just start telling jokes. And when I got to the second joke, she went like and I'm telling you, she was no movement. It was like she was like barely having any brain energy. And when I started telling that first and second joke, she went like this, and I was like, oh, what the? I called a nurse and I said, hey, a nurse. She went like this, bro. And it was just like that. And I was scared as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know what was going on. The nurse came in there, and then it's like, she said the medicine's reacting a certain way. I started telling the jokes, and then you know what I'm saying. So I left that day,
Mm-hmm.
and that night, and when I woke up in the morning, my niece called him. She said, "Guess what, David? Your sister's awake." I said, "What?"
Wow.
And I told her what happened, and she was like, "Oh my God." I said, "Man, that scared me." She said, "Yo, you probably moved some brain activity." Cause she always said, she said, "I'm so funny. You're so funny." And so when I came back the next day, I said, "Man, you had me scared yesterday. You breaking into some, I don't know what you were doing." And I said, "Do you remember me telling you jokes?" She said, "Nope." I was like, "What?" Like she didn't have any recollection of anything. But I definitely feel like that God used
Her
my
spirit, her spirit received that love from that humor that you have.
she did, man. She did, and it was freaking amazing, man. So, but yeah, man, you can go where you was about to go now. I would have forgot about that.
No. I appreciate all of this. I just like 15 minutes. We have 15 minutes left, and I want to get to the point. We had talked about all the different trauma, from understanding where you was conceived to um, the family, the loss and the grief and the death of people in your family that are close to you,
Yeah.
the things that your dad said to you, your background, the ex-wife, all that trauma, all that hurt, all that pain. Where did what does comedy do for you to keep your recovery going? And when I say recovery, I don't mean necessarily just for mental health or just for substance use. Recovery is a term that I like to say that is inspirational change moving forward, where your humor, your comedy, your laughter, your laughing, the things you do to be of service to people, that's recovery for yourself and others. Where did that come from? Where did that start? Just a quick
Uh,
little backstory on where David's comedy sparked from.
oh, my comedy sparked from well, I definitely would say Red Fox and Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, but the true spark came from the daggone household. My grandma is a fool. Well, she's not alive anymore, but I'm talking about my mom's mother.
Mm-hmm.
She was a fool, and God rest her soul. That was a matriarch of the family, man. And man, she was hilarious, man. She was stupid. She was always playing practical jokes on folk, including me. And she don't want no practical jokes played on her though. She mad, but
How
but
you
yeah,
can't take it? How you can dish it,
nah,
but you can't take it? I know,
she
right?
can't take it, bro. She can't take it. But she would, man. I remember time she told my mom. She said, tell pretend that for my sister. She would tell my mom, go out and pretend that somebody breaking in the house, and then say, see what she gonna do, right? So anyway, my mom would go outside, it took me like 5 minutes later, my nigga. 5 minutes later, my mom go, oh, somebody breaking in the house. I mean, she's a terrible actress. Terrible. No, somebody's breaking. You know what I'm saying? Some mess like that. And then, my sister go, oh my God, she going crazy. And then guess who else run? My grandmama. Because she don't forget that she told my mom to pretend somebody breaking the house.
That's funny. That is hilarious. How you gonna forget the setup? You behind the setup
She said,
of the
Lord have
joke.
mercy. She done ran outside. She going crazy. You
Ah,
know,
that's funny.
she don't grab a gun. She don't, grab a purse or do a wig on all in like 30 seconds. And and then my mom was like, you know what I'm saying? Like we thought you were just playing along, like you were a real good actress. You know what I'm saying? But mom was like, Lord, don't scare me like that. Don't do it that good no
Yeah.
more. I'm like,
That's funny. That's funny.
Mama.
how, she, how she forgot. Like, you set this up. You the setup
Yeah,
man. You set
right.
this up.
You set
That's
it up, man. But yeah, but that's that. And then I'm a musician. I'm a hip hop artist. I'm a rapper. Man, I've been a performer for a long time, and because I'm so hype, as y'all probably can tell, uh, people would get me to host their events. You know, saying not as a comedian, but just as a hype person. And while I was in the process of doing that, I realized that I knew how to be funny just in the moment, and then it made me think about stand up comedy. Maybe I'll go head dive in that. And so I went in 2016. I went to the Funny Bone Comedy School here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I ain't looked back since, man. So yeah, man.
how has a performer in all aspects has helped you stay mentally stable, has helped you, of course, there's always God. Always keep God first
Amen.
in
Amen.
everything that we do. But he gave you that gift, he gave you that talent. How has that kept you mentally stable through all your adversity to bring you joy and know that you bring joy and healing to others?
Yeah, man. It's that godly boldness that I was able to display, especially when I was doing well, I still do it now, but the Christian rap. I was you know what I'm saying, it was like the godly boldness. So I can be like, yo, put your hands up for Jesus. Man, put your hands up. I mean, I just have that energy that God, you better been up. I tell you, better put them up for Jesus.
They going up like,
At first it's like this guy crazy, but then they're like, I like this guy. You know what I'm saying?
all
It's
right.
that Holy Ghost boldness, and then and so in having that God gave me these talents, you know what I'm saying, to learn these different things. And the main thing I think he gave me that I didn't really have to learn is being a performer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's, I guess, a performance is a gift, and the talents like, music and rapping and comedy and acting and all these different things are talents I learned, but he made me. I'm a David, bro. I'm a David, man.
Right,
And
right.
I'm proud of that, David. So yeah, man. I forgot what the question was. I'm sorry. I'm like my grandma when she be doing the setups, and then I did this great setup,
Just
and then
forgot. Just like, oh, wait a minute. ah, but being, how does it make you feel with all these, being a performer? That's the gift that God gave you, to all the aspects of rapping, songwriting, performing, comedy, humor. How does that make you feel? Because when you get on that stage and you do what you do, you're being of service to others to take them out of whatever trials and tribulations, whatever failures or challenges that they had that day. You get to be like, wow, for whatever time I'm allotted, I get to be a service to these people and make them forget about that and give them a performance of rapping, piano play, songwriting, comedy, humor. How does that make you feel knowing that you are in service to people like that?
I love it, man, because I like when people do that for me to make me laugh when I'm feeling down. So, like, if I'm sad about something and someone makes me laugh, I say thank you for that laugh. I needed that laugh that helped me calm down. So yeah, I love it. I love being able to make people laugh. I love making people feel good. I love allowing people to cry. You know what I'm saying, and get that pain out instead of keeping
Mm-hmm.
that inside, because crying is a good thing too. So
Yes, yes, it is.
yeah, man, it's a good thing.
How
So
do
I
you?
did a good thing
No, go
today.
ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, so I did a really good thing today because had a little bit
Yeah,
cried.
you did. We had crying, we had laughter, we had it all. That's what we do here at Play the Tape. I wanted to
Yeah,
ask you, do people come up to you and be like, because I've had it happen to me, it was like, man, you know what? I had a bad day today. Thank you. Just how you said it, just how you say it to them, as people come up to you after a performance of any kind and be like, you know what? That song you played moved me. That song you played inspired me. That joke you told lifted me up. Have you ever gotten things like that?
Yes, especially when I was doing prison ministry. Oh my God. So when I used to do prison ministry back in 2019, before the pandemic happened, I was heavy into it. And I would go and I perform music and I would do comedy. So I was a double dipper, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
and the crazy thing is, the main thing would happen afterwards, but people come up to me wanting prayer, they're in tears, they're telling me all their secrets that I didn't need to know. You know, I didn't need to know you did something to a little boy. I didn't need to know that because, but I'm there for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm there. But they're telling me, man, that song you did touched my heart, and they were crying. They're like, and they were like, oh my God, that was so good, man. I thank you for coming. Please come back again. And then somebody in the same setting, the same event, like after I'm talking to this person says, man, I needed to laugh so bad. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for making me laugh, bro. Can you pray with me? I was like, yo, that is crazy. And God let me see that. Like, I had a whole year where I wasn't really getting gigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, I was like 2017, I was on TV. I had a commercial I was on, and then everybody, oh, let's gig them up, gigging up. I'm getting gigs. In 2018, I had a little open mic. Then things started slowing down. 2019, I was part of prison ministry and wasn't doing a lot of comedy out there, except in the prison. And I was doing a lot of prison. I'm talking about like, Sussex, number two, which is
Mm-hmm.
a real prison.
A real prison. Absolutely. It's a real prison. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it ain't county. It's prison.
real deal, bro.
It's real
Real
deal.
deal.
Yeah.
And
But
yeah,
but
God,
I think that was a that was payment spiritually for you
yes, it was.
to hey, trust in me. I got you. I need you here right now for this season, and don't worry, I got you. Have faith in me, trust in me, and my will that I have for you. I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm not going to leave you stranded. But this is where I need you to be right now for this season. Is
Right.
in this prison in the prison system, giving back, being of service to these people that need you the most.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, man. It
And
was.
I know that made you feel fulfilled in
It
your
did.
spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm sitting here thinking about it, kind of want to go back, man. At first I was like, no, I don't want to go back because that the COVID stuff is scary. But kind of want to go back. I probably wait another year though. Make sure,
Hey, you you know what we do, pray about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
See where God leads you in that. And you might not have to do it to the extent you was, but maybe twice a month. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
never know. Just see, just pray, receive. And that's just a suggestion. I know for me, when I there is something that I need more clarity about. I pray, I fast, I meditate,
Amen.
because I don't want Derek to get in the way because I know I'll mess it up because
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think I know better and I don't. So,
You're right.
um,
Right.
listen, we got a couple minutes. Where can people find you, David?
Man, you can find me on the planet Earth. You can find me in Virginia Beach, Virginia, inside of my black skin.
He said planet
Sometimes you can,
Earth.
and
He said
sometimes you
planet.
can find me inside of my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like depending on what time of
I
night it is.
I can never look at Succotash ever again. You ruined it for me. You ruined it for me. Hey, wife, I need you to suck it. Never mind. Never mind. Just never mind. Never mind. You don't want no sucker. No, I don't want no succotash. I don't want it. Throw it out. Give it. Go donate it. Give it to a food bank. I don't want it.
But no, really, like right there it says UBSN underscore TV. That's my IG. It's also a TV channel that I have that's on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and you can just download on your Android devices too, your Android or your iOS devices. UBSN TV. Look at it. It's a comedy channel. We do some religious broadcasting. It's mainly comedy though, and short films and stuff like that. But it's starting to grow, 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 grow. So, jump on a bandwagon before the bandwagon, turn into a tractor trailer. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Also, you can check me out on Roku. Not Roku. What is it? What's this thing called? Tubi. I'm on a Tubi movie, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I'm making big time Tubi. Oh, snap, Tubi.
Hey.
But it's the movie's on Tubi, it's on Apple TV, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Thankful for My Family. I'm very thankful for my family. And I play an older guy. I mean, I might be an older guy now because I got a little bit of gray, but I play an older guy with a stuttering impediment, speech impediment, but it's a hilarious movie. If you don't like the first 10 minutes, just watch when I come up. You'll love. I'm telling you, I put it in. I put it in for that daggone movie. I really did. But yeah, get ready. He's gonna be laughing because it's a whole lot of stuttering, but it's a whole lot of hilarity, man, about it. Yeah, and yeah, man. What else can you find me? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
look me up.
love it. I love that. I love it. I love all of it. I am listen, I thank you for being here. I am grateful for you, my brother. Listen, much blessings to your success, your future endeavors, to you and your family, and to whatever you put your hands on. Let it be blessed in Christ Jesus. Listen, I love you, man.
Bless them
Uh,
asses.
absolutely. There it is. There it
Bless
is.
mouse. I need to get
And whatever you put your hands on, whatever you put your hands on and your spirit into, there it is. There it is.
bless.
But my brother, listen, I love you. I would I can't wait to have you up here again. If you want to come back, I would love to have you as a recurring guest.
Okay.
Your story is impactful, is powerful, and you have victory. And I'm very blessed that you were here today. And thank you so much for doing the show, agreeing to do the show. I had a good time.
I love what you're doing, and I learned something about you now. So now I know I need to look at your story because that's powerful, man. And man, victory in Jesus, man. That's all I want to say. Victory in Jesus. You better love
Always.
the Lord. I think I said love the Lord, man.
I got two fists. And look, brother, listen, we got to get out of here. I love you, man. You be safe,
Man.
be blessed. You take care. Till next
You
time.
too, bro.
Peace.
All right.
Hey, family, that's what we do here. Play the tape. Listen, it's all about love, laughter, forgiveness, rejoicing, strength, experience, hope. With peace comes understanding. With understanding comes love. With love comes hope. And with hope comes faith. And with that comes recovery. Listen, if no one told you today that they love you, we love you. I love you. You will find that there are people that would jump down in that pit with you, not because they don't know what they're doing, because they know the way out. Play the tape, good, bad, or indifferent. You play that tape. Whatever that looks like for you, you play that tape. That's what we do. Listen, until next time, thank you for viewing, listening, however you may be viewing, or however you may be listening. Thank you, and God bless. Peace.